So this tablet is has a sort of delay. I don't know why. Hmm? XP? I don't know what that is. XP. You mean the ground? Is for engagement. The more you comment on a live stream, it puts you on a ranking. Now you are number one because you are the only one talking. So I don't know. It's like that. It's a recognition. It's a recognition for engagement. It's like a badge of honor. I don't know. Usually people take longer to join. Yes. In the title, I believe I put that it was Friendships Part 2, but I believe it's Part 3 already. It's Part 3, not 2. Well, it's the continuation. Know that Gemini is all about community, networking, um, your neighborhood, um, so also friendship, it can count like a Gemini experience. So yeah, I couldn't think of a theme for romance, a dynamic for romance, so I'm going to stick to friendship for now. And then maybe on Cancer season, we are going to get inspired, we're going to get into our feelings, and we're going to be ready for emotions. For emotions. Oh, okay, it's going to do well for romance. The two cards that draft as I was shuffling. Does anyone know about the Korean election? Does anyone know something about, is there a new president already? Did they selected a new president? And who is that guy? I have no idea. Ah, oh, mm. If we had their names, I could pull cards for them to see to see what they're like. But I don't know them. Also, I'm so happy because I'm doing the countdown of days left till BTS comes back. So the day that they come back, I believe that are they all going to be, almost all of them are going to be back for their anniversary, right? For June 13, I believe. And that day, because I'm trying to, you know, to do an special, I'm going to do a live stream for BTS only. That live stream is going to be dedicated to read for them, to read individually and for the group. So it's going to be all for BTS only. So yes, it's going to be a big celebration. And I'm just going to be pulling cards. So yeah. I know that for Yoongi it takes a few days later, but if I have mostly all of them, since it's just a matter of days or weeks, I don't know. For Yoongi, I'm going to read for them. I'm waiting for the cows. Ah, okay. Hey, flamingos. I just don't understand the whole crazy thing. No, for BTS it's going to be when they come back. I believe someone showed me like the itinerary, and I don't remember the dates. But Namjoon and Taeyeon, I believe they come back on the 11th, on the 11th, and then I believe that JK and Jimin the next day, or is it the 10th? Well, and then Yoongi is the last one. But yeah, once I have mostly all of them, I'm going to be reading for them. So I'm speculating it can be for Friday. That Friday, what day would be? Not this week, the next week, the week after this. 21 Suga, yeah. The 21st for Yoongi. Yeah, but since that it's almost there, like it's June, I can pull cards for the entire group finally, because we are closer. We are closer to the date. We are in the month. It is so fitting because their anniversary it's on June, So they are a Gemini group, BTS. But yeah, it's all going to be dedicated to them. And I want to do the live stream for the multi-stands. We were talking the other day with Saint Fool that I was planning to do a live stream only for multi-stands, like multi-stands and multi-stands um, deals, like like different groups. Okay, guys, I wanted to let you know who I have on my list. I want to begin. I want to see if I can write it down. I have, for the friendships for today, I have NCT Yuta, my bias, and Kim Jae-jung, GD and Twice Sana, Jenny and Chahi. Chahi is a former idol, that girl, I believe. Then is this Thai actors, both of them are male, Pawat and Nanon Korapat. Nanon Korapat. Then Taeyeon of SNSD and Key friendship. Hoshi and Lee Soo-hyuk. I know I read for them last year, I believe, but well, we are in 2025, so yeah, it's like an update. Let's see if there's difference. Then Taeyeon and Park and Tzuyu and Tzuyu and Suhua of Idol. It's so funny because I wrote Tzuyu and Tzuyu. Thank God that I remember who it was with her. Tzuyu and Tzuyu. There's like the Gemini's Tzuyu, two of them, the twins, Tzuyu and Tzuyu. Friendship between Tzuyu and herself. I'm going to see if I can write it down. Wait, guys, I'm typing. I want to see if I can let this. More than I don't know. Let's see. I put the word timestamps because I'm going to also post this in the comment section, but sorry. Do you know YG going to debut new groups for both boy and girls? Company seems very active literally. Wow, that's a miracle. That's a miracle. At first I was like, I don't know why I read JYP, and I was like, yeah, JYP makes sense, but YG, oh my God, what happened? Is Gemini season is inspiring us all. the the issue is not about the debut. I think that for debut they are really good. The thing is about promotions, activities. Um, Also the other day I was like, wait, I heard of this group, but why didn't I remember them? The group Bad Villain? Bad Villain, is it? Bad Villain. Is it a YG group? Because I know I mix them with, either I mix them with Baby Monster or I mix them with the other group that is on the black label, Meow. Is it Meow? Um, Bad Villain. Or is it from another company and I'm mixing it? Because it reminds me of the whole style of theirs. And I was like, oh wow, those group that grew up here again. Like, or maybe it was the first time that it came on my timeline, on my algorithm. It was like, oh, that name rings a bell. But where were they? Were they in a dungeon all this time? And I was confused. I was like, but isn't that the group? That villain isn't Baby Monster? I don't know. Or the other one. We need a YG expert to explain it to me. Wait, I'm going to Google to see where they're from. Ah, no, they're not from YG. Why do I confuse them then? Why do I confuse them with the other YG groups? Do they have the same, not just concept, do they have like the same? I don't know. There's something about them being the same that I confuse them with the others. This is like um BPM, is it the Deming's company, right? BPM. But yeah, I was confusing them. Maybe their concept is so similar that I confuse them. I don't know. If it's a girl group, we'll have 4 members because more number of members overlap each other or something. Well, he doesn't change the recipe that much. He's not the original. I mean, for me, 4, I don't know. It looks empty, 4 for me. I would add 5. I would be with 5 to, you know, give it a shape. But 4, there's something missing. Their formations also seems it looks very empty. They have to have all these backup dancers all the time because there's something to every time they are separated, it looks like a line, you know, like. But I'm no expert. I'm no expert in groups, so if he says that it's better, it's better. I think that 5 is a good number. I remember when I first discovered a BTS not member, BTS MB, a BTS that actually was very funny. I believe it was in 2017 or beginning of 2018, and I remember the video. I believe it was DNA, one of the first MV that I watched of BTS and K-pop in general, and it played like an advertisement. I remember it was an ad. It was an advertisement, and I don't know why I was reading or I was, busy, so I let it play. I didn't omit, skip it. And first of all, I was like, wow, so amazed by, I was so shocked by the color hair and everything. I never seen anything like this. Um, and another thing that I found so unique for me, for my experience, was the number of members. Like 7 for me. Like I was like, how many are they? Like I counted and I was like, oh, there's a lot of people. 7. Like I was in shock. I was in shock. But well, guys, I'm a millennial. I was a fan of the Backstreet Boys, and they had only 5, I believe, five members. And then there were other boy groups that I believe they had like 4. Usually number 4, I believe that it was more like the groups that they used to do a cappella, or they used to be singers mostly, not dancers or performers. But they would deliver really good music. And yeah, remember that the Backstreet Boys, they had 5 members. A lot of boy groups had 5, but that was like my limit of what I knew back then. So when I saw that there was like 7 people in there, I was like so shocked. I remember I was like, oh, there's a lot of people. How do you remember their names? How do you remember their faces? Who is who? Like, that's a lot of work. And now we know everything that is to know about different groups, K-drama actors, K-drama cast. We know about their mothers, their fathers, their pets, everything. But back then, it was a whole cultural shock, I would say, from my experience. But I was in shock. I remember when I was 7, I was, oh, no, not 7. Like, that's why. I didn't understand. Case in full. Literally, I thought JK was married and had 1 child. Really? Why? Why? Mm. I discovered BTS when I was searching the most handsome men in the world, and B appears in the video. That's a good finding. Yes, 21 have four. Blackpink have four. I think four is the lucky number. Yeah, four is the stability number. Yes, the number of the emperor in the card. So it makes sense. I haven't started with the readings yet, Sanfu. I think it used to be four girl group and five boy group in case of the first groups of K-pop, the boy group five, TBSQ and girl group of four SES. Yeah, I remember them, the first gen. The first gen. Yeah, for me, it was the standard for me for boy groups to see four members, not five members. Yes. Actually, I was also a fan of a British boy group that literally their name was Five. Their band name was Five. And I had their CDs. I was such a fan of their music. Um, so yeah, I do remember that was like the top. And then I don't remember. I think that it's Boys to Men, the R&B group, but they were all vocalists mostly. I used to love Boys to Men as well, and I believe they were four, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not bad in my memory. But I remember, I believe they were four. Seven members used to be for boy groups. Mm. Yeah, but I never seen in my experience as a teenager, I never seen seven people in a group. For me, seven was like too much, like crowded. Like, what are you going to do with seven people on a stage? I couldn't believe it. And then I discovered a whole world of possibilities, information and yeah, they know what they're doing. They know that variety is the key to let people, fans choose your favorite or choose your fighter, like Mortal Kombat. This tea in here, this is mint tea, but it gets cold really easily here. I will have to get like a cup with a like with a sort of top because it gets cold easily. Okay, I'm going to begin, guys. Okay, let's begin with NCT Yuta and Kim Jae-jung. See the friendship. And then there's NCT with 22 members. And me like learning everything about all of them and them actually turning into one of my favorite groups of ever. Like I love NCT. I love NCT. And I remember when I heard of them and that they had a lot of members. I was very judgmental of that. I found it very funny. I found it hilarious. But then I got to know them and see the potential, the preparation, the talent that they have, and you know, the system is not perfect, of course, but I will choose them forever. Not all of the units are my favorite, but they do have great people in there. They do have talent. So, you know, that's um, they do the work. I love it. I love seeing talented people together. Um, okay, let's start with Yuta. At first, I was like, okay, what is going on with these people? Like, first of all, what is going on with my bias with Yuta? Because, you know, we start with the Ten of Swords for Yuta. Ten of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Let's see if I can, because it's, I don't know if you can see the cards though. And from Kim Tae-jun part, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Six of Pentacles. And their connection, we have the King of Swords, that it says grace under pressure. Grace under pressure is the keyword in this deck. A lot of talking. They definitely talk and share a lot of experiences, or they give each other's advice. I think that definitely they speak literally the same language, in a sense that they, you know, the King of Swords energy for a friendship, it's like it is the kind of friendship that is very straightforward with their friends. You know, someone that will tell you like it is. Like, okay, like, do you want my advice? You know, is this like, it's going to be challenging, or it's going to be hard, or, you know, no sugarcoating. I'm going to tell you, you want my advice, you want my opinion. It's going to be very, very sharp, very controversial, I would say, very, very logical, but very honest. You know, the King of Swords is very honest, and also the King of Swords is, it talks from experience. So, you know, I think that Jejun and Yuta have this very, they share, you know, their perceptions maybe of the industry and each other's experience. They do resonate a lot with the way the other person tells their part of the story, or how they lived certain situations. And I think that they are very, you know, there's something that in here that I don't see. You know, I know that Kim Jejun is older, and definitely, you know, he had more experiences and than Yuta, and there's a lot of wisdom in him. But also, I think that Jejun is not the type of person that is going to sugarcoat things for Yuta. Probably is not the person that is going to be like, oh, you know, things are going to get better. You know, at the end, you're going to get what you want. He's very honest, and he's also very sharp, and he's like very transparent in that sense. Probably he does, you know, say certain things to Yuta with the, not from only from his experience, but also from a moment of, you know, very raw honesty. Like, this is the information that I have, this is my experience. It's not going to be easy for you to achieve things in that place. um I think that he does it from a place of like, you know, I want you to succeed, but I also want you to have a level of awareness that this could happen, you know. But I think that this is the kind of friendship that both of them have, this very um honest conversation. They really are very honest with each other, and also I think that they are really good when you because I think that someone like Jejun doesn't let Yuta get all emotional, and so I don't think that Yuta is emotional about his situation, but definitely when I see this, when I see the Ten of Swords and I see the Two of Pentacles, not only that Yuta is tired mentally, and that probably he's overwhelmed by a lot of things, that there's exhaustion, there's excess of information coming his way. Maybe he did prepare himself a lot for this solo work, and he's still preparing himself. He's still not recovered. There's something about him just juggling his life and being a professional, or his individual desires and being part of a group. He's juggling, and definitely um maybe there's certain worries that he has, or there's certain, maybe he complains about certain things, or he's fed up with certain things. That is normal, but I do see him being a bit exhausted mentally, or probably just trying to hang in there. The Two of Pentacles is like, I'm trying to find a balance, because that's all I can do now. I have no energy left. So probably he's feeling a bit, pessimistic. Maybe, he got a feedback, and that feedback is not what he really wanted, or the results weren't the one that he was, looking for. But in the place of Kim Jae-jung, this Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles is like advising him basically to remove all emotions, like get out, like not get out because he cannot get out of the building. But there's something about him like remove emotionality, move on, accept that this is going to happen to you, is going to be repeating itself, and just give the right amount of attention that it deserves. You gave it your all, you're doing your job, but don't do more. It's not worth it in there to do more. You just have to just do what they tell you or what they ask of you, and that's it. Just like a very transactional, very even, kind of exchange. He's like, move on. Like, don't get, don't take it personal. They probably will always have, a certain, maybe the company, I know that people were thinking like, oh, they didn't give Utah the proper promotions and everything. But I think that the cards is like, from Kim Tae-jung's part, it's like, I'm going to tell you like it is, like the King of Swords. And also the King of Swords is like grace under pressure. So there's this very intelligent advice about do not lose your charm, do not lose your grace, do not lose your spirit. You are under pressure. You probably are fed up of the lies, the whole speech that, oh, we're going to make it better for you. You will see, you will shine, you will get all this. And then at the end, it's just BS. Um, but, he has to continue. So, there's something about Kim Jae-jung being, very like this kind of friend that also is worried for Yuta, in the sense that he is reminding Yuta to not have, a lot of expectations. It's like you choose, do what you have to do. If they give you this, you reciprocate. But that's it. Do not aspire for more. Um, so yeah, a very sincere friend, and also mentor. Because the king of swords, it's a very intelligent um you know king, a very intelligent a figure of power, like I would say like a military person. His mindset is very sharp, is very intelligent. He also is able to see maybe Yuta's experience or how Yuta is feeling. He's like, okay, yeah, I seen this before. I know this is how it goes. So I'm going to tell you like it is. Like I'm going to tell you the truth. It's probably not, it's not going to get better. So, you just do what you have to do, follow the rules, or follow what they tell you, but don't seek for approbation because you will not get it. So yeah, it's very sincere. I like it. I like it. Also, he's very generous with Yuta. I don't know if he pays for something for Yuta or if um because the six of Pentacles is also giving me like, I cannot stay for long if they meet. Probably Kim Jong-un is a very busy person, so it's like a kind of express, very fast, encounter. Like, oh, let's hang out, let's talk, let's have some drinks, but then I have to go. Why do I feel like he's always on the way to go somewhere else, Kim Jong-un? I don't know. But he loves to give, make the people or his guests to have a good time. With the Six of Pentacles, I was like, yeah, he also, I don't know if he gives Yuta gifts, if he buys things for Yuta, or if I don't know, he pays for the meals, or if he pays for, um, whatever activity they do together, or if he's the one that is like, oh, let's go drink here, the drinks are on me, but he's very generous. He's very generous. If it's about money, Kim Jong-un is really friendly in that sense. You will probably not get, like, oh, a whole day with Kim Jong-un because he's a very busy man. But when he is with you, he will treat you. Okay, I'm going to continue with GD and twice Sana. GD and twice Sana. Hmm. Are we sure they're friends? Something happened. Like something stopped. Like one person was putting the effort, the other one is also available, but um what happened? Okay, from GD we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Death card. So I'm like, I don't think that is like him not being a friend, but there's an interruption here. I'm like, why did he change his mind? Like, as if he was going towards her and then he stopped. Um, Either way, he's very slow. Whether, it's with intention or not, but he's a very slow friend. I would say it takes forever for him to decide if you are his people or if you are his friend or if he likes you even. From Sana's part, we have the Two of Swords and we have the Queen of Cups. So from her side, she's also like, I I I, I don't understand you. She's so sweet, like with the Queen of Cups, there's this ability of being very perceptive, being very generous, being very loving. She's very intelligent. She's like, very patient. But with the Two of Swords, it's like, um um are we friends? Like, like there's a level of confusion in here. There's a level of even ignorance, I would say, even ignorance. There's a level of like, I have no idea what you mean. Like, but something happened. I want to say like someone got in the way, or people got in the way. I don't know. I think that they stopped in their tracks. Things were going well, and it stopped. So I'm like, who was it? Who did it? Because even from her side, she's so sweet, she's so lovely, she's like, she's so receptive, she's so emotional, that I think that she really likes him. But with the Two of Swords, it's like, um I don't understand you. Like I don't, um are you okay? But she gives him his space or whatever. Like she's a very understanding person. I don't know, maybe she understands men, especially men like him, like men with power, I would say, or men with influence. She understands their the way they transit relationships. Like she waits, she's like, you when you have time, when you make your mind, when you make up your mind, I will be here, like, yeah, talk to me. But it's just that with Sana, you don't know if actually she's being nice to you, like a nice person, or if she likes you really. There's a duality also in her, with the Two of Swords. It's like she's also like a bit in the clouds, like a bit indecisive, not just about him, but also maybe about the nature of the connection. She doesn't understand, like, are you my friend? Are you not my friend? Like, but I love you. She's like, I will wait for you. Um, and in the middle, we have the Nine of Wands. This is why I was like, what happened? Who messed it up? Who messed up here? Someone got in the way. Something happened with the Nine of Wands. Discipline in adversity. So there's something about them hanging in there, in this connection, but it seems like it takes a lot from them. They have to be like sort of survivors. So I wonder what happened, because for you to pull all these barriers up, you must feel in danger then. Adversity. What are you guys overcoming together? This is like deeper than a friendship. This feels like dramatic, I would say. It feels dramatic. But they are remaining like resilient, centered. But there's this level of life is tough for me or for us. Life is tough. We have to defend ourselves all the time. So wow, like, the barriers are like, but he was going towards her. This is why I'm like, what what changed? What and also, like I said, you know the Knight of Pentacles is so slow. It's consistent, but it's so slow. So I imagine that for GD to, maybe he had to reach out to her or talk to her or whatever, to just to initiate something. It took him a lot of effort and probably a lot of thinking and a lot of preparation, and he's just very smooth about it, very, very gentle, very, disciplined, just like the keyword here, disciplined in adversity, very disciplined, very organized, proper. But then we have the death card, that it seems like he's like, I don't want it anymore. Like, what happened? What happened to you? Why did he flip like this? Like, what? Oh my God. But if they have a friendship, there's adversity. They are definitely going through something. and well, they probably is a test, and they have to, overcome this. They have the potential. I do see it, but it feels that it's so tiring. It's so, it is especially from him. He's like, it's not that I just got to know her now. Probably he has been doing the work slowly. Um, but it's just that for him to get out of his shell, it takes forever, forever. So I wonder what happened, if he changed his mind. Yeah, and from her side, she will remain confused until she hears from him, or she's waiting. She's like, he will tell me. He will tell me the truth. She's a bit confused also, like, what? But probably she is, like I said, there's something about her maybe not being, the Two of Swords is like, I don't know. Like she sort of knows because the Queen of Cups is very perceptive. So, you know, you can play dumb all you want, but the Queen of Cups knows things with the intuition. But the Two of Swords is probably maybe that she doesn't know what to think of him. So she's like in the middle, and she's like, yeah, it's not like I don't want to be your friend, but like, yeah, like her trying to be just the sweet person that she is, very nice. She's a great listener also. So this is why I was like, oh, it's good that he's, advancing, but these are moments of adversity for this friendship. So yeah. uh, Sun and GD feel they come from different reality. Uh, they process emotions differently, definitely. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jenny and Chahi or Chahi. This person, Chahi, is a former idol. I believe someone mentioned, I believe it was Nuit that she requested this reading, and she mentioned that Jenny wrote a song for this girl. So yeah, let's see their friendship. Jenny, Chahi. Hmm. They are no longer friends, right? I mean, they could be in good terms again, but yeah, from Jenny's perspective about this person, Jahi, we have the Four of Swords and we have the Four of Cups. And from this person's perspective about Jenny, we have Five of Pentacles and we have the Six of Cups. And in the middle, we have the card of the Temperance that is says protection. The one that actually is very much offended is not Jenny, it's the other girl, Chahi. She's the one that feels much more disappointed, I guess. Like if they had like a fallout, or if they had like, there's something about this person being like, oh, you left me in the cold, or you I needed you and you weren't there, something like this, and this person is like thinking constantly about that situation, about feeling like, you left me alone. The Six of Cups is like, I remember until this day, I remember that feeling of inferiority, or maybe feeling like a victim even. Um, but can you hear me, guys? Yeah, it's just that this one, I don't know if it's going to shut down again. But well, let me know again. Let me know again. Where did I left off, guys? Do you remember? Um, but yeah, I was saying that I think that it has to do with money. Like there's something about this person, any when it comes to maybe money or success yeah. Mm, yeah, there's something about her feeling like left out, and it's like her perception gets stuck in that moment. She cannot let it go. She only remembers that. I don't know if their friendship evolved later, but it feels like she's stuck in the past. There's something about this person not forgetting. So I think that this is like, if they're not friends anymore, I think that it's okay to not be friends anymore, because if this is the perception that you have of the other person, like, oh, like, because you have this or you had this opportunity and I couldn't, and you're always going to rub it into my face. I don't know. I'm like, there must be a more serious personal problem from this person, like feeling, um, like, I think that there's something about her feeling the difference between maybe her reality and Jenny's reality. Like her feeling like, oh, you have all this and I don't have it. And like constantly bringing it up, like, yeah, you know, but yeah, she's stuck in the past, so she's a bit traumatized, I must say. I wonder, if she's okay, because I don't know, maybe, the whole process, the training, the experiences, the people that she met, it seems like for her this is serious and it's not easy to let go of. It's a very, bittersweet moment, um, of her not feeling supported enough in that moment, like sort of tossed to a side, as if she wasn't worth it, and also feeling very lonely and isolated. So um, and from Jenny's perspective, we have these two fours. So we have the four of swords, and we have the four of cups. So there's this feeling of inaction also. Like, I don't think that she would reach out to this person, or she would be like, at least not now. I don't see her being like, oh, we should talk, or, we should resume this, or we should, reunite, or we should, get together and just talk about things. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're feeling. I think that for Jenny is like, if they used to have things in common, or if they used to be close, I think that for Jenny is like, now I don't feel the same. I don't feel the same. I don't feel the need or the desire to be her friend, or to, reunite, or to do something about our friendship. I think and also for Jenny, it's like, it's a bit of peace of mind, maybe. It's like, like, I like the way things are now in my life. Like, she probably is a bit bored of her life, Jenny, or maybe she's bored of her friends, or there's a bit of disconnection between her and her circle of friends. But at the same time, probably she's drama free now. So there's something about her being like, I may be bored. I may be a bit like, sometimes I don't want to see people, or sometimes I don't even know if these people are my friends, but at least I can sleep well at night. Like, I'm not complicating myself. Like, I'm finally taking my moment, and probably she's doing a lot of self-care, or she's, putting herself as a priority, putting her work as priority. I don't know. It feels like she's like, she's like, I don't owe anyone anything. So, I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to dissociate from guilt, from guilt. Um, feeling like you have to help others and be there. Like, she's like, I'm working on my own inner peace. So yeah, some people may see it like, oh, but you are like, oh, you're disconnecting from the people that you love, you're not dependent. But she's like, I'm doing what I can with her emotions, and maybe her work, and maybe her lifestyle. She's taking it slow. She's doing what she can. She cannot give anymore. The two force is like, this is what I have. This is what I have to give. Deal with that, because this is what you're getting from me. This is the reality. You know, if you don't like it, that's the door. Something like this. But yeah, drama free completely. But yeah, the temperance also, protection. It says protection. I think that is very interesting, because maybe, at some point their friendship was like a sort of protection for each other. They maybe felt protected, or they felt, like they were like each other's luggage arm. When you're with me, I feel protected. When you're with me, I feel okay. But I think that also, they are in the process of recovery, maybe recovery their own individuality. I think that this person, the former idol, the friend, Chahi, is a bit much more affected. She probably is much more affected. And this is why I'm like, is this about money? Did she lose money? Did she lose opportunities or something important? Because she's like, you guys left me, I lost my savings, or I lost something important, and you guys didn't help me out. So yeah. Okay, about these two Thai actors, Pawat and Nanon Korapat. Let's see. They are both males. I believe they participated. Maybe they participated in a drama together, and they were friends. But I believe someone said that they weren't seen together after they finished their project together, or after they ended, their work relationship. So maybe people are like, will we see them again? maybe working together, how do they feel about each other. And okay, from the part of this actor On Pawat, from On Pawat we have the Empress, and we have the Five of Pentacles. Then from Nanon Korapat, we have the Sun, and we have the Page of Pentacles. And the connection, we have the Queen of Pentacles, down to earth, down to earth. So I think that if it's about business or them, doing something, working together, I can see it. I can then see it like collaborating. Um, but it feels, just like the Queen of Pentacles here invite us. She's sort of calling us out and being like, touch some grass. Be realistic in that sense, down to earth. Probably if they do share activities, it's going to be all merely professional, very serious, very luxurious, I would say also, like it's all for money, it's all to gain money. So if they are seen together, it's all going to be for that um, objective, I would say, for that goal. Um, yeah, from this actor from On Pawat, we have the Empress and the Five of Pentacles. So again, just like I said for Jenny and her former friend or friend, this person also got the Five of Pentacles. So there's something about this actor on Pawat, he started really prosperous also, like probably like being, maybe he's very beautiful, or he's someone that stands out, or maybe his character, or in his connection, in his friendship with Nanon, maybe he is the one that shines very much, or he's very luxurious, or there's something about him that is so beautiful, is so vibrant, is so rich. Maybe it's also funny, entertaining, humorous, and but also, living a good life, I would say, beautiful, all magnetic like this, and just living a good life. But then we have the Five of Pentacles. So again, why do I feel that this is also something like, oh, I lost my throne, or I lost my possibilities. Like I was an empress, I was someone successful when I was with you, or when I was in this friendship with you, or when I was in this connection with you, I felt like an empress. I was so abundant. But then we stopped, and I'm left with the Five of Pentacles. I'm left on the streets, literally, like I'm left out. I feel sorry for myself, or I cannot recover financially. Also, why do I feel like his lifestyle is very much, like the person that spends without, that you spend a lot of money and you don't take into consideration, like, oh, maybe I should, calm down and not spend so much money, maybe save more, maybe not buy, these expensive products, change another brand. I don't know. I think that he was doing very well in this connection with the other actor, with Nanon Kurapat. But then, he felt like, you took it all. You took this status from me. I was so prosperous, I was so abundant, and you took it from me. Or I cannot seem to recover it now that we are separated, and now that maybe we are, I don't think that they are not talking. I actually see them both very, like they keep working separately, but they keep working. Maybe they have other projects that it doesn't include them being together, but I see them that they keep shining on their own. It's just that maybe from Ompa Wat, there's this feeling of like, with you, I used to shine more. And ever since, we stopped working together, or we stopped being seen together, or we stopped, having this amazing chemistry, I feel like, yeah, I'm still an empress, I'm still popular maybe, but it's not the same. I don't feel like I'm successful. Actually, I feel like I'm losing. I'm losing my shine, I'm losing my prosperity. So yeah, in this sense, I think that this person feels much more affected by the absence of the other. Because yeah, from Nanon Korapat, I have the Sun and the Page of Pentacles. So there's something for this actor, for Nanon Korapat, that he's like, yeah, also him shining so much, him probably being like also very spontaneous, very like him being used to be the center of attention. But he's feeling very optimistic, in his connection with Pawat. It's just that, he's also maybe working. I see that he's busy doing another things, maybe another project, getting ready, studying. There's something also about him being busy because he's starting another project and it's a very recent one and it's very important for him. So probably, there's something like, I cannot see you because I'm also investing in myself, I'm investing in my future, I'm doing a lot. Uh, I think that both of them know this because in the middle we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, it seems to be like everything also has to do with money and opportunities. So, the Queen of Pentacles, it's also a card that talks like maybe we're not like, oh, friends emotionally. There's not like an emotional attachment here, but there's like a partnership. It's like, I want you to do well in your next project, even if it's without me. Just keep working, and we will reunite at some point. But yeah, you do you go shine over here, and I will try shining on my own over here because I'm also like looking forward to the future that I have. That is probably, keeping them separated. But they are very realistic, very realistic. With the kind of down to earth, they know. They know that probably, if they have to be like, okay, will we work together in something new? Probably not yet. They still have to do certain individual projects very far away from each other. But maybe in the future. But there's not like this awkwardness, like this silence, this like, oh, like, yeah, you don't exist for me, like I don't talk about you. No, no, actually they do recognize each other's value. And they're happy, like on their different sides, but they're happy. Okay, I'm going to continue with SNSD Taeyeon and Shiny Key. I'm like, for Taeyeon, a card jump out, and and it was the Eight of Wands. So why do I feel like she's coming in a rush, like she wants to tell Kim something. She wants to tell him something, like she has either news or she has something. But when the cards like jump out, it's like the Eight of Wands, and I'm like, wow, they are so communicative with each other. They probably talk all the time because it was very fast, like, I have something to tell you, like, come over, I have something to tell you, I have news, or I have gossip. I don't know, but maybe it's gossip and news. Yeah, from SNSD Taeyeon, we have the Eight of Wands and we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords today. And then from Key's part, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. And then their connection, we have the High Priestess, intuition. So they are very intuitive together, very intuitive together. They read each other's minds. They read each other's minds. I don't know why I want to say that also they're like sort of wizards, like witches or something like this. They're magical. These are people that if they would get together to do some like manifestation ritual, something like this, they would get it. They would get it. There's something about their energy just being so like the high priestess, so magical, so, these are the kind of people that they would be so intuitive, especially around each other. They're so intuitive, and they're the ones that they will be like, I told you so. I told you so. I told you this would happen. I told you. I knew. I don't know how, but I knew it. I knew it beforehand. You should listen to me more. These are the people that they are like, you should listen to me more. Um, Definitely, they uplift each other. They also influence each other in each other's intuition. It's like, okay, what are you feeling about this situation? What, not what you think of the situation, what do you feel? What do you feel in you? What is going on? What do you feel? And allowing the other person to dig deeper and be like, okay, yeah, I guess I saw something, or I perceived this, but I thought that it was my imagination. And it's like, no, it's your intuition. Listen to it. They're great. They're great. Both of them are, a very great and amazing mix of feminine and masculine. They have it so integrated in each other's person that they are very brave, also very brave people. Very intelligent also. I think that this is not like, oh, use your intuition and just like, um, these are very hardworking people that yeah, they use their intuition, but also they put the work. So it's not like wishful thinking. It's not like, oh, I'm thinking about this and I'm going to get it, my dream come true. No. um but they probably also get together. The other person is like, I want to ask you something about this person or about the situation. What do you think? And I think that this comes from, in this time, is about Taeyeon. I think that Taeyeon is like, I heard this, or I have a proposition, or something. I received news. I have two options, or I have to decide. I don't know. I need you to help me. I need you to help me to decide, because I cannot decide. She's so stuck. Like, she's so like a mix of emotions, and also being a bit of a perfectionist, and her just not knowing if what she's seeing is the real possibility, or if she's dreaming, or if she's missing something. This is why she probably is asking for his perspective, that maybe he's much more rational. There's something about him, with the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. He's observing, he's reviewing something for her. I don't know if it's like an option. I don't know if it's like a business. He's reviewing it for her. And then he's coming with the action. He's like, okay, I got the answer. Let's go. Let's go. Does he drive? Does he drive? I don't remember. Does he know how to drive? Because I don't know why he's like, let's go. Get in my horse. Let's go. But he's for her, he runs. He runs. I think that he's like this for everyone that he cherishes, right? But he's a very, he's someone that he stops anything that he's doing, to help the other person. So in this case, I think that their friendship is very special. Definitely, it's very special. The high priestess is like, you guys will be safe with each other's presence. You guys will be saved. Because even, there's something with the high priestess that I think that it also has to do about, they know each other's secrets. There's a lot of like contemplation. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of like emotional connection, but also there's silence. I know that probably, if you had seen, I had watched certain content of Key. I don't know much about Taeyeon. I did watch certain things of her, but I don't know much about her personality. But there's something about them being able to just enjoy each other's company in silence. Just being in each other's life or each other's presence in silence. It's like, it doesn't have to be dramatic. Even though Key is the dramatic one here because he's like, oh yeah, let's study, or yeah, let's work on this, or let's prepare this. And then, he gets all passionate about something, and he's like, let's go here, or let's do this, or I don't know, maybe Taeyeon is more like a homebody. She's like, I will wait for you here. And he's like, no, but I have to go somewhere to get, it seems like he's the one that does the logistics. He's the one that moves around. He's the one that goes, it's like, okay, I will go here and we'll buy here and she's like, yeah, I will just wait for you here. I'm tired. I don't want to go out. Um, especially to do social things. I don't know, social. Mm, yes. Yeah, the high priestess is giving me telepathic. Yes, very nice. I like it. Sorry if you guys can hear the barking, but it's the dogs. Okay, let's move on to 17 Hoshi and Lee Soo-hyuk. Hoshi got the same cards that Yuta got at the beginning, but in different position, but it's the same. It's the same. For Hoshi and his friendship with Lee Soo-hyuk, we have the Two of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Swords. And from Lee Soo-hyuk's side, we have the Strength and we have the Seven of Cups. And then for their friendship, we have the Seven of Pentacles, that is says effort. Yeah, definitely. I think that Hoshi is worried about something, or I don't know. I think that his energy feels like all over the place. His energy feels like very mm, um like he's probably a bit confused. I don't know. There's something about him, there's a lot of changes, and definitely the Two of Pentacles is like change, adaptability, flexibility, is the advice. You go with the flow, but I think that going with the flow, there's certain, moments for Hoshi that it gets overwhelming. Him probably being a Gemini, he's like, I don't, I'm feeling like I'm all the time like, here and there, like moving from here to here, and he cannot, he's a bit dizzy, you know and probably there's something about his friendship also this year. I don't know if they've been hanging out, or I think that there's something about him maybe trying to be more present as a friend, but probably he's very busy, or he's going to be very busy, and this is why he's trying his best to be a good friend, to be present, for Lee Soo-hyuk, to be present, maybe, to, be consistent, to be like, okay, yeah, I have a bit of free time, we can meet or we can hang out, but it seems challenging. It seems like Like probably, when if you meet with Hoshi, he's going to be very busy. He probably is going to be a bit overwhelmed with what he has to do, or if he has a lot of things to do, or if he has to go to different places. So there's something about him not being that present in connections. I think that there's something about him probably not being able to sleep, wanting to sleep. He's so overstimulated mentally, and he also has like a lot of worries. What if this goes wrong? So I think that even though he's trying to be there for his loved ones, or he's trying to visit people, or show up for people's events, and be consistent and being considerate, he's a bit, overwhelmed. He has a lot on his plate, a lot this year. So, I think that he needs he needs the emotional support from the other part, because he's also tough in that sense that it's really hard to push Hoshi off that energy, because he's used to being like this. He doesn't know how to live differently. He's used to, like I think that the other day that I read for him, I read about something very similar, that it was like him being in the middle of other people's decisions. So he's like always the one that has to go with the flow. He's always the one that has to be like pendant, like, oh, okay, you move here, okay, I will move over here. So there's something about him, sort of feeling a bit like overwhelmed by the role that he plays, or maybe him wanting to be a good friend or be there for everyone, and you don't have the time, and that's okay. Someone should tell him that it's okay, that there's no need to be, there's not enough Hoshi for everyone. Like, he has to regulate. He cannot have like clones of Hoshi for everyone. Like, okay, I will appear here and there and there, but in his mind he's like thinking all the time, like, oh, but I said I was going to go there, so I cannot miss, I have to go. And it's like, let's organize ourselves, because he is overwhelmed with thinking, like, oh, how do I do this, how do I do this? So also, maybe he is in other people's company, he's actually very confused, or his energy feels a bit erratic, because it's like either he drinks a lot of coffee, or he is talks nonstop. There's something, just very, it's a lot. And in the case of yeah, Lee Soo-hyuk is like the voice of reason. Lee Soo-hyuk is like the one that probably calms him down a bit. Yeah, with the strength card and the seven of cups. That is like, calm down, calm down. Just, it's okay. It's okay. Lee Soo-hyuk, I believe that he is also a Gemini, but there's something about him being much more calm. He's like, I'm patient, I will wait. He probably is older, so there's wisdom in him. And also there's something about him, with the strength card, there's this ability of him um to regulate himself. And also probably he's a man that he has a lot of options. His reality is very different from Hoshi's. Is very different, but nevertheless he understands Hoshi, and Hoshi's like the way he thinks. He's like, yeah, I I I don't do what you do, because I'm different. I regulate myself. Like, he, and also Lee Soo-hyuk probably is the kind of person that if he says yes to do something, he has to think about it like 2 months prior. He's someone that you cannot, he is not interested in networking. Maybe because, like I said, the seven of cups, he's someone that he doesn't need, to be exposed. He's like, I will show up to the event that I want to show up, and I don't even know what I want. The Seven of Cups is like, I have a lot of options, but I don't even have like, you know, like, oh, it has to be this, or this is my stuff, or this is what I love. He's like, yeah. I wonder if he has a bit of Pisces also, because he's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we can dream. He has a lot of, aspirations as well. But he's a bit much more like evasive. He's like, yeah, I will take my time. I will see. I will see. But he's like again, like the damsel that, tames the lion. It's like, breathe, slow down, take your time, breathe, please. But he's a protector also. He's a protector, and also he's like, probably to Hoshi, he's like the one that listens. He's like, yeah, tell me all about it. I will be here for you. But yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. The keyword is effort. So see, this is a card that is very important in a dynamic or a real friendship card for me, because it talks about effort. It talks about making the effort. When you are someone's friend, it doesn't matter when or how, but eventually you will make the effort, and that effort will be enough. If the other person is your friend, they will understand that there's moments where you can give a lot, and there's moments where you barely have any energy left for yourself. So I think that this card is very sweet, because it also talks about like, okay, you cannot make it this week or today, I will wait for you next week. We will reschedule. That's okay. I will wait. I will accommodate. We are still friends. There's a level of like, like, you don't have to run from me. I'm your friend. Okay. I'm going to continue with Taeyeon, with BTS Taeyeon and Purple Boom Friendship. Tae, Purple Boom. from Taeyeon is like, let's go out now. Let's go. Let's meet. Let's go have a drink. Let's celebrate. Please. I need to go out. I need to go like have fun. Like, I need to see you and the others. Like, um but why do I feel like if they drink, if there's something about them starting to tell each other sad stories, and they start crying, like, because I have the Nine of Swords here, so, and it says despair. So I'm like, why? Like, are you trauma bonding? Do they trauma bond? Because it seems like they have that. From BTS Taeyeon, we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Three of Cups. So there's something about him like, come on, let's go, let's go out, let's go out, please, let's go celebrate, let's go see other people, let's go have a drink, like, please, like, I need your presence, I need to hang out with you, let's make it happen. Like Taeyeon probably wants to go out a lot. He's like, let's go out. Yeah, and from from Parvo Gum is like, with the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords, he's like, yeah, yeah, I love this idea, this proposition, but I will let you know when I can, because the Ace of Swords is like, yeah, I have so much to tell you myself. The thing is that maybe he doesn't have the time to meet in person. There's something about him, like, with the Eight of Wands, it's like something new came up. I don't know if Parbogum is busy, like working right now, or if he's in different locations, or if he has to move. Like, there's a lot of, you know, unpredictable news, or there's something going on that probably he has to move, or he has to change certain plans. So he's like, I want to let you know that, yeah, I will take the invitation. I also want to see you. I have also a lot to talk about. I have a lot to tell you. Like, I really want to talk to you. But probably he's like, you know, I don't know if I can meet in person. I hope I can, but they can talk. They can talk for hours, because the Ace of Swords, Parvogum is also like, I have a lot of things to tell you, a lot. So I will call you. I will call you from wherever I am. I will call you. I will call you. And we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, that it says despair. It's very interesting, because in here, it looks different, but the Nine of Swords is actually a card that I have been pulling a lot for today. For certain people, they had gotten the Nine of Swords. Wait, this one. That is, this one. That is like in here, well, it's not that well expressed, but the Nine of Swords is like a bit of anxiety, a bit of, I'm feeling like Gemini season is messing up with my brain. I'm overthinking. I'm receiving news. I'm hearing other people's opinions, and I'm like, when you cannot separate in your brain. You don't have the different compartments, the folders where you are like, okay, this intrusive thought, it goes here. This nightmare, it goes here. This brand new idea, it goes here. No, everything is mixed together. So even though they are I think that they are talking now, like they are really so excited to see each other. They want to meet. Definitely, like Taeyeon loves Barbagum. He loves him. Look at this. He loves him, and other, maybe is part of the squad that they have. That there's other people, but he just cannot wait. And also, I think that if Barbagum is busy somewhere else, Taeyeon is once he's out, he's going to go and see him. He's like, I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you where you are, because we do have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to catch up. And this is why I'm like, could they be that when they get comfortable, when they get really expressive about how they feel, could it be that it becomes a bit sad? With the Nine of Swords is giving me trauma bonding, like they start talking about sad things that, unfortunately, I believe that they do have. This is why I'm like trauma bonding, because it seems like they have, like, not a similar experience. Not, I don't want to say like, oh, they have similar lives. No, but at some point there's something that brings them closer in comparison to other people or other celebrities. I know they are not childhood friends, but there's something about their experience, about fame, maybe, their deceptions about fame, or maybe, yeah, they choose, start opening up their hearts, and they start talking about sad things, and maybe everything starts like a party, and then it gets a bit not negative, but it gets a bit like heavy, like when you start, like, bringing up past, maybe past heartaches or past deceptions, or very challenging, them feeling alone, them feeling misunderstood, them feeling, like they really were not appreciated. And I think that there's something about them having this in common. It's like when they talk about despair, for example, the keyword in this card is despair. When they talk about these things, I think that they do it not to torture themselves, but it's a moment for them to be able to be raw and personal and being like, to you, I can tell you. I can tell you about my past, or I can tell you about my present situation, that I'm not that happy today, or that I went through certain challenges that no one knows. But to you, I will tell you. I feel in despair, or I'm feeling suffocated, or I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling tired, or, like I think that there's a level of honesty about each other's struggle, and there's this also vulnerability, this openness to like, okay, these are two very successful guys, but when they meet, it's like, tell me about it. Tell me what is going on with you. Like, you name it, you say it, I will support you, and it will stay with me. I will not share it with others, nor the press, nor other people of our group. No, it's very personal. It's very personal. It's a connection that probably they don't have with the others. It's something that they only have among themselves. And this is why it's not that heavy anymore, because once you share that despair with others or with other person in the right moment, in the right time, also the right atmosphere, privacy, it doesn't hurt that bad, to say certain things aloud, to say certain truths, to express yourself. um, and I think that honestly this also has to do with mental health. How sometimes, celebrities or just very rich and successful people, I don't know, these people that sometimes the audience think like, oh, you sure don't have a problem because you're beautiful and successful. But these people have problems. They do have traumas of their own. They do have issues. They had been betrayed. They have heartaches just like everyone. So being a celebrity or being famous, it doesn't assure you that you are going to be protected from pain. Mm, yes. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it because it helps them. And also I don't think that they go into a meeting or into a reunion and be like, tonight we are going to disclose our past heartaches. No, it's just, it moves, it's a rhythm, one thing leads to another until that moment. This is why this is a friendship. Friendship is like this. It takes two to tango. Okay. The last one. Twice Tzuyu and Idol Zuhua. Tzuyu, Zuhua. Wow. I didn't know they were friends. But they are so prosperous. Like, my God. Like, do they belong to the same society? There's like a lot of money in here. Like, not just money, but there's like status. I don't know. Like, do they go shopping to very expensive places or something like this? Because it feels very abundant. Like I see all these pentacles and I'm like, wow. From Tui's perspective about Tuhua, we have the Ten of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So, wow. Or maybe this reflects Tui being very abundant and successful in her personal life, and this is what she brings in this connection with Juhua. Juhua also the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. So also Juhua also she loves to show off what she has. She's very proud of what she has. So she also has a lot of dreams, aspirations. I don't know if Shuhua is rich, but she is like probably one of her goals is to be rich. But she's very independent so far. She has a lot of things to show. So I love this. I love this. Y- these two, these both have the same aura. Rich, evil, magnate, pretty princess vibe. I swear that you summed this up. Definitely. You made the summary for this, Bacano. Yeah, yeah. Rich, evil magnate, pretty princess vibe. It is like this. And also we have for their friendship, the Two of Swords. That is his choice. So again, the Two of Swords, we've seen today a lot, the Two of Swords about indecision, but also in this card, instead of seeing it like indecision, it says like you have choices, and probably for these girls, it's like they have the choice. There's moments where they probably, I don't know if they had been close, and then there's moments where they maybe don't acknowledge each other, or they're like, yeah, we used to hang out, and now I don't see her that much, or I don't know about her, or until this day, I don't know. Yeah, we used to see each other, or we used to do this together, but um these are very popular people. The Two of Swords is giving me like, yeah, I know you, but I don't know you at the same time. I know you, but not in a deep level. Especially with all these, the opposite of Sana and Chidi. Also with these pentacles, they have a lot to show. They are very imponent, I would say. They are very, like, they represent a lot of, like, yeah, like Bacano said, like rich status. Like, I love myself, I pamper myself, I live my best life, or maybe they have this aura of being very rich and successful. I think that in the case of two is very interesting, because the ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles is giving me like she knows a lot of people. Like there's something about her being like, yeah, like, or maybe it's not so much like, oh, I have friends. It's more like, yeah, they know about me. It's like someone mentioned her or named her. Oh, like they are friends or they are my friends. But she's like, yeah, but I know people. Like she's like a very successful friend, or not friend, but acquaintance. The Ten of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles is also her stability, or maybe her not only success in this industry, but probably that she's a very known person, or that she's very successful in the eyes of others, and that she is very stable. So she's like this. I don't know how to say this, but she's like this pole. This person that has been part of the industry for a very long time. She's very stable. She's doing very well. People in the industry, they know of her. So I would say that for her, getting to know people, or just talking to maybe some other idols, like for her, it's like part of the job. I like, I don't know why. I feel like it's not that from Jewish part she's trying to be like, oh no, we are not friends, but there's a level of formality also from her. It's like, yeah, I know them because we are part of the same business. and I know that they are doing great, or she's doing great, so I respect her. But it feels very like political, even. It feels very like like proper, like good, but just a bit like this is for business purposes. um, in the case of Juhua, yeah, the nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Um, there's something just a bit odd about about Juhua's energy. Um, is she an only child or something? Because I think that I don't know if someone is. I believe you mentioned Bacano that it could be that she's the magnet of the group, but there's something about her seeing herself. Like she's like, yeah, I'm amazing. And the Seven of Cups is like your perception is a bit clouded. You know, like who wouldn't want to be my friend if I'm perfect? And the Seven of Cups is a bit like yeah, you know a lot of people in the industry. She definitely, with the Seven of Cups, is like, yeah, you do know, you have a lot of people, but the Seven of Pentacles is also very dreamy. Is very it has a bit of illusion, a bit, but also a bit of like, are we friends, or like I cannot see clearly. It's like, is it my interpretation that we are friends, or that we are okay, or are we not? But she's very popular. She's very popular. I think that there's something about her just. But could it be that at some point she said that she was friends with someone and people didn't believe her? Why do I feel this? Why do I feel with the Seven of Cups? It's like people being like, yeah, you always say that you're friends with this person, but we don't know. That person doesn't know you. Something like this. So even though she is the Nine of Pentacles, that is this very independent and also very successful in her own right, and also she's someone that also, she gets a lot of attention, or maybe she has a strong personality. She's very independent. She probably, can be like a one woman show. She's very independent. She really can do it all. But maybe, there's people with the Seven of Cups. They're like, there's a bit of disbelief. Like, yeah, well, you said this, but we don't buy it. Something like this, So I'm like, what is going on with Tuhua, and why are people? But also, I think that if there's something that maybe if there's people like they don't believe her, is because of maybe she's very confident. The nine of Pentacles is very confident. It's like, yeah, this is my accomplishments, or yeah, this is me, or I created this, or I earned this. So yeah, this is me. I'm proud of myself. And maybe um there's it feels like she's all alone in there, claiming her status, and then you have maybe people or haters being like, we don't know. like can you check? Just people trying to belittle her, but she has this attitude, she has this form of being, this personality. She doesn't do it to annoy anyone, just that she has a strong presence and a strong character as well. And she's very secure on her worth and what she deserves. So this is why I'm like, is she rich? Is she an only child? Because it feels powerful. But yeah, the Two of Swords choice is giving me like, maybe I don't know if the state of this friendship. With choice is like, it depends, because maybe when one chooses the other one is not available, so it is a bit confusing. Maybe this year is a bit confusing. But separately they're doing amazing, and they have a lot in common. So yeah, they can resume this friendship. Um, mm, mm-hmm, mm, uh, Tuhua has a very strong personality. People tend to say that she was just in the group for appearance and status. She seems pride and defensive with hate. Yeah, she with the nine, and I think that this is not the first time that when I read for her, I have very strong cards, and the cards when I read for her, the cards they don't. How can I say this? They don't hesitate. The cards is like, yeah, I'm like this, or I like this, and this is, the card is also very straightforward. It's like, yeah, this is me. Yeah, this is me. This is what I like, or this is what I don't like. So I'm like, if she's the magnet, like, my God, the personality that she has, like the level of, of character that she has, very secure, very secure in herself. I'm glad, to see someone that is very sure. But about the friendship, I don't know, because I got the two of swords. So with the keyboard of choice is like, you know it can be a yes and a no, like, yeah, you could potentially be more friendly, but it's like it's a bit like confusing, or maybe one doesn't make up their mind about the other. So there's something about indecision in there. Mm. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Like, I tried not to burn myself today because I do have the heater here, and it was all of this, it was coming to my face. So if you see that I'm all red, well, I'm red here also, but I felt the heat more on here. So if I'm all red, it's because of the heater. But yeah, thanks to the heater, like, I'm not that cold. um but yeah, I do appreciate so much you guys recommendation. Thank you so much for for being so fast and responsive all the time in the community post about recommendations. um Tomorrow or the day after, probably Friday, I'm going to create the community post for Sunday's questions. Remember, I'm going to do the Q&A just like I did last Sunday. So yeah, if you guys want to submit your questions in there, you have the possibility. Think very well, please, on how to formulate the question. So I will choose the ones that we can all learn from what I see in the cards. But I find it a very good exercise, to have these questions or specific topics or what you guys want to ask. I am loving this, and I think that last Sunday um it was very nice. I felt very entertained, and I also felt very like ready. Because I had the questions, I had selected them, so I felt like I had material, material to work with. So yeah, I'm loving this. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Have a lovely rest of the week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on Sunday. Okay.